Welcome to Be the Light 365. I'm Pastor Jake. We're in Matthew chapter 23, verses 23 through 28 for our Bible study today. And these are the woes, still in the woes with the Pharisees. They were still doing wrong. And he points out this to them. He said, look, you'll tithe mint and come in and arise and omit the weightier things like the law and the judgment. He said, and what this means is that you're too worried about what you're giving and not about mercy, about the heart things of these people. And we have this with a lot of times with a lot of leaders in the church and stuff like that. They'll worry about the small stuff and not the big stuff. Matter of fact, he goes on and says this. He says, you'll strain a gnat, but you'll swallow a camel. In other words, you'll worry about the little stuff so much that you miss the big stuff, like the people itself. He said, you're worried about these laws that are hurting people and not trying to help them. He goes on, he says, you're so blind to this matter that you're worried about what you look like on the outside and you're not worried about what's on the inside. You're not caring about the heart. You're letting so much darkness in, there is no light in you anymore. And he says, you clean the cups and the platters. You'll wash the whole outside, make them look pretty and so shiny, but then the inside is just full of nastiness. He said, you're like a scepter. This is one of my favorite things that Jesus gives. He says, look, a scepter looks so beautiful. You're ornated. And what he's talking about is a funeral plot, a tomb. And he says the tomb will look so good. It'll be like ornated with little details and everything and marble and all this. But inside, you're just dead man bones. In other words, you're dead inside. You can wear a nice three-piece suit. You can look like your church is just the best church. But if it's dead inside, it's still dead. He said, you're not worried about the people. You're not worried about people's hearts. You're full of hypocrisy and iniquity. That's what he calls them. He said, you're worried about religions. You're worried about your doctrine and not about God and his word. And he said, that's where everybody's losing. That's where all these churches are having problems now. We're seeing this in churches all around the world, actually. They're worried about their appearances and not about the people. They're not worried about the heart of people. Their hearts are so full of their outward appearance that there is no good inward appearance. And that's what we should be worrying about. God says, it's a heart thing with him, not an appearance thing.